Hello friends, and welcome back to our channel. Back with me again, Joseph, your host. Today, we're traveling back in time, way back to ancient Ireland, to meet a super teacher, a real-life holy hero named Saint Finnian of Clonard. Have you ever had a teacher who made learning so exciting that everyone wanted to be in their class? Well, Saint Finnian was just like that, but his classroom was a whole monastery, and his students became some of the most famous saints in history. Get ready to hear the incredible story of a man whose love for God and for learning helped change the world. Saint Finnian was born in Ireland around the year 470. That's more than 1,500 years ago. From a very young age, it was clear he was special. He was baptized by another saint named Abbin, and was soon sent to study with a wise bishop. Finnian had a great thirst for knowledge, especially for understanding God's word in the Bible. He knew that to be a great teacher, he first had to be a great student. So he set off on a big adventure. He traveled to places we now call France and Wales. In Wales, he studied at a famous monastery for many years. Imagine spending all that time learning, praying, and carefully copying books by hand. In those days, there were no printing presses, so every single book, including the Bible, had to be written out. Finnian became an expert at this, and he learned so much about the teachings of the church and how to live a holy life dedicated to God. After many years away, Finnian felt God calling him back to his home country of Ireland. He wanted to share all the wonderful things he had learned. An old story tells us that an angel guided him to a beautiful spot by the River Boyne, in a place called Clonard. The angel told him that this would be the place of his resurrection, meaning it was where he would do his most important work for God. So, right there in Clonard, Finnian started small. He built a simple little church out of clay and sticks, and a small cell for himself to live in. He spent his days in deep prayer, studying the scriptures, and living a very simple, humble life. But something amazing started to happen. Word began to spread all across Ireland about this incredibly wise and holy man living at Clonard. People heard about his deep understanding of the Bible and his gentle, kind way of teaching. Soon students started arriving. First a few, then dozens, then hundreds. They came from all corners of Ireland and even from other parts of Europe. They were all eager to learn from this great master. Saint Finnian's school wasn't like a school you might see today. It was a monastery, a place dedicated to prayer and work. The students didn't just study, they also prayed together, worked in the fields, and learned how to live a life focused on God. The rules at Clonard were strict, but they were designed to help the students grow in virtue and overcome bad habits. Finnian taught them to be humble, to avoid things like greed and anger, and to cultivate virtues like patience and generosity. His main subject, though, was always the sacred scriptures. He had a special gift for explaining the Bible in a way that made it come alive for his students. They didn't just learn facts, they learned how to love God with their whole hearts. Can you guess how many students he had? At its peak, the school of Clonard had up to 3,000 pupils at one time. Imagine a giant open-air classroom in the green fields of Ireland, with thousands of people listening to one teacher. Because of this, Saint Finnian is often called a father of Irish monasticism. Monasticism is the way of life for monks, and Finnian's monastery at Clonard became the model for many others. Now, here's the most famous part of his story. Among his thousands of students, there was a special group of 12 men. These 12 were so inspired by Finnian's teaching and holiness that they went on to become great saints themselves. They are known today as the 12 Apostles of Ireland. You might have even heard of some of them, like Saint Columba, who had traveled to Scotland and found the famous monastery on the island of Iona, or Saint Ciarán, who founded Clonmacnoise, another great monastic city. These 12 students and many others were like seeds of faith. They took the wisdom and love they received from Saint Finnian at Clonard and planted it all over Ireland, Scotland, and Europe. They built new monasteries, schools, and churches, spreading the light of the gospel wherever they went. It's all thanks to their amazing teacher Finnian, who equipped them with knowledge and a burning love for God. That's why he is also known as the teacher of the Irish saints, Saint Finians. Life shows us the incredible power of a good teacher. He wasn't a king or a powerful warrior, but his influence was enormous. Through his dedication, his prayer, and his passion for sharing God's word, He inspired a whole generation of saints who would shape the future of Christianity. He lived a long life, and when he passed away in the year 549, he left behind a legacy that would last for centuries. The school at Clonard continued to be a famous center of learning long after he was gone. Finnian of Clonard's feast day is the 12th of December, which is first attested in a Spanish martyrology of the 9th century. Finnian is the patron saint of the Diocese of Meath. So what can we learn from Saint Finnian of Clonard? We learn that knowledge, especially knowledge of our faith, is a precious gift meant to be shared. We learn that a simple, humble life dedicated to God can have a powerful impact on the world. And we learn that by being good students of our faith, we too can become teachers in our own way, sharing the love of Jesus with our friends, our families, and everyone we meet. Saint Finnian reminds us that one person, filled with the love of God, can truly light up the world. Thank you so much for joining us to learn about the amazing Saint Finnian of Clonard. I hope his story inspires you to be a lifelong learner and to share your gifts with others. Don't forget to like and share this video, and subscribe to our channel for more stories of the saints. Take care, everyone. Stay safe and healthy as usual. See you next time, and God bless you always.